Hi there YouTube, this is Daniel back again with another YouTube video, and this time it's one of those comic book hauls, but instead of the regular ones where I go through my monthly pickups, I have decided to pick up some back issues, mainly DC Rebirth, to catch up on certain characters and certain series. The ones that I've been able to find here, and the ones that I've been getting a good deal on from friends and eBay, or Swedish eBay. Since there are so many to go through, I have decided to flip the camera around and to show you those from the other side instead.
So let's start off with the first couple of books, and I decided to pick up some Black Hammer issues 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and the Giant Size Annual. And after the recommendation from Blackpool, I decided to continue with Briggs Land issue 4, 5 and 6. And I also picked up some other Dark Horse, and these are Hellboy Winter Specials. And this one is the variant for 2015 Winter Special, and then that's the regular cover. I accidentally picked these up. I thought they were different. I didn't pay enough attention to the year marking on the artwork or the signature here. But hey, it's a Magnolia variant, and I like Magnolia's artwork. So, and I then picked up 2 other series: The Walking Dead 150 and Walking Dead 100 variant covers. These are the cheapest I could figure out how to get some of these milestone issues, and I'm quite happy to have them. And then I got a sort of gift when I bought some issues from a friend, and that's Terry Moore's Motor Girl issues 2 and 3. He apparently didn't get issue 1, but he did get issue 2 and 3 and decided to get rid of them and gave them to me instead. I then decided to start some DC collections, and I got an amazing deal on Aquaman. This is the Rebirth one shot, and then the first issue. And then I got issues 2 and 3, issues 4 and 5, issues 6 and 7, and this is as far up I have read for this series. And then you get issues 8 and 9 with the new story arc, Unstoppable issue part 1 and 2, and then you get issue 10 with a new sort of one shot with Mera, focused on her, I guess. And then the new story arc starts with issue 11, the Deluge Prelude, and the Deluge part 12, or 1 and 2 on issue 12 and 13. And continuing with the haul, I did pick up another series, The Flash, with issues 1 and the one shot, The Flash one shot. And I did pick up the entire run so far with issues 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 9, and that concludes the first story arc. And that it continues with Speed of Darkness, part 1, 2, in issues 10 and 11, and continues in issue 12. And then you get this one-shot sort of story, Christmas feeling to it, in issue 13. And then you start a new story arc with The Rogues Reloaded, part 1 and 2, and that's issues 14 and 15. And then Rogues Reloaded, issues 16 and 17, and that concludes that story arc. And those Flash issues have a lot of great covers on them. And after I got those, the Aquaman and Flash, from a friend who gave me a great deal on those, I decided to start hunting down some Batman, and found a good price on the Swedish version of eBay with the Batman Rebirth issue 1 and and the actual series issue 1. Issues 2 and 3 with the story arc I Am Gotham. And the story arc conclusion with issues 4 and 5. It's a solid run, I think, and I really enjoyed reading that. And then I really did like issue 6 as well, with the sort of year 1 of Gotham Girl. And then we continue with issues 9 and 10, and that's I Am Suicide. And then continue with 11 and 12 with I Am Suicide story arc. And that concludes with issue 13. And then that Rooftop part 1 and 2, that's an amazing little story arc. I really enjoyed reading that one. The artwork was just, I liked the artwork. And then that's issue 14 and 15, and that's kicking off the new story arc with I Am Bane part 1 and 2 in issues 16 and 17. And I still haven't read issue 20, but that conclusion I hear is gonna be epic. And I also decided to dip my toes in with the Detective Comics, Batman Detective Comics, with issues 934 and 935. And I actually found a good deal for the first arc on the Swedish version of eBay. And I have issues 936, 937, and 938, 939, and 940. And that concludes the first arc of Batman Detective Comics. And I must say, I really loved that first arc. It's a solid story with twists and turns, and I just loved every issue of it, with the artwork by Eddie Barrows and is it Javier Martinez? I think so. Those two really fit well together, so that's a very good pairing, I think. And I continue with 943 and 944 and 945 and 946. And that story arc, The Victims Syndicate, is actually concluding with 947, and that was a solid run as well. I did enjoy it. It wasn't as impactful as the first story arc, but it was a good follow-up to that one, and I think that arc was a bit of a hard act to follow, but James Tynion IV did a really good job with the following issues as well. And then we have 948 and a variant version of 949, and those are the two mini arc with Batwoman Begins, basically, that will lead into her own title. And then you have that milestone issues of 950 with or like a sort of anthology, maybe introducing or following characters with different artists. So and it worked quite well. I enjoyed reading it. And then the new story arc kicks off with League of Shadows Part 1. And 952 and 953 with League of Shadows Part 2 and 3. And to follow up that Batman run with Detective and regular series, I decided to jump on with Nightwing and issues 1, 2, 3, and 4. I haven't been able to find the Rebirth one-shot issue number 1 for a decent price. The one at my LCS is priced insanely high. It's about 200 crowns or 200 crowns, which is about $20 or $25, and I think that's way too much. But I'll probably pick it up in a trade or something, or just read it digitally or something like that, if I can't find it for a more decent price. And this is as far as I actually have read on the series, but I do look forward to continue reading this. It's a fun, upbeat kind of take on the DC Bat family with Nightwing. I haven't read any Nightwing before this, but it got me to want to read more at least. And I'm gonna continue with the Rebirth line of Nightwing, and then see if I want to read the more New 52 ones, and then maybe even go back further. And I didn't stop with those 4 issues. I did pick up the next arc, Rise of Raptor Part 1 and 2 with issues 7 and 8. I also picked up issues 9 and 10, 11 and 12, and I did pick up issues 13, 14 and 15 with the Bloodhaven story arc. And as you most likely have noticed, I haven't actually completed the run. I did, however, manage to find this run of Night of the Monsterman with Batman issue 7 and Nightwing issue 5. And then part 3 with Detective Comics 941 and Batman issue 8 with part 4. And that story arc continues with Nightwing issue 6 with part 5, and part 6 concludes the event, so to say, with Batman Detective Comics 942. And this was actually quite an enjoyable read, even though it felt very disjointed. It kind of lost the momentum. These series that had built such a momentum with the entire arcs leading up to this event kind of lost the momentum with this arc, but standing alone, this actually is an arc that works, in my opinion. And the artwork kind of reminds me of some of the artwork that comes out of Dark Horse with the monsters and stuff like that. And I also had the opportunity to pick up this run of Superman from a friend of mine, with the Rebirth issue and issue 1, issue 2 and 3, issue 4 and 5, issue 6 and 7. And that concludes the first story arc. I haven't read any of these. I have decided to wait to read this until I have finished that trade I recently bought with Lois and Clark, Road to Rebirth, I think its name is. And then I continued that run with Escape from Dinosaur Island, Part 1 and Part 2. And then In the Name of the Father, Part 1 and 2 with issues 10 and 11. And then Super Monster, Part 1 and 2 in issues 12 and 13. And then you start a new story arc. Multiplicity, Part 1 and 2. And that actually concludes this little video, or little, you can debate that. Let's flip the camera around and see you on the other side. Okay, back again in front of the camera. That was quite the stack of books to go through, but I made it. And yeah, if you have any questions about these books, or if you have any suggestions for other books to pick up, probably in trade or anything like that, just leave a comment down below. Have you read any of these, and what are your thoughts on these books? Also leave a comment down below and let's have a discussion about them. And until next time, happy reading and bye bye.